All right, here we are. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Numbers again. Oops. Numbers again going up, increasing, and rising. Or let me see. 700. Jesus Christ, that's pretty cool. 700. A few quid in. Welcome, everybody. Let me put these so I prevent from having the annoying noise that I'm still working on finding out what is it. So I'm sure it may be due to the poor quality of the little sound table, but oh well, that's what we got. And today this vlog goes to I am preparing a video for Zeus on the road for the trip I had to Cannes in South France. When I tried to move there, I went for work and I needed a break from London as I had many times, as I needed many times that situation happened. And yeah, so I tried to move there to work in an Irish bar. And yeah, the video is going to be this weekend, it's going to be up. So if you're interested, just follow Zeus on the road and it's going to be there. I'm trying to do a little bit of a different format, different than I was doing before. I'm putting more narratives included, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I may even put a little bit of me talking about the time. I will see. I will see. I'm working on it. But yeah, so this one goes to what I have been watching lately. It's the playlist where I talk about books and podcasts and movies or whatever. And again, the reason why I have started watching Game of Thrones again, I know a lot of people is gonna say a lot of stuff, and yeah, just let it be, guys. This is my experience, is what I am doing, and voila. If you wanna share it, welcome. If you don't, just look for someone you wanna interact with. And it's pretty annoying, these people that hide themselves behind fake channels and stuff just to annoy people that are coming to try to do something to get along with life. But well, yeah, let's not give them much audience. And so yeah, for me it was Game of Thrones, but my idea when I went to watch this a week ago ish, it was because I wanted to have a break. Have a break from cell phone, have a break from being studying as much as I was, and reading, and my brain was non-stop, and it has been for quite a while. Working and teaching and studying and doing university assignments. So it is that I have mentioned here in a previous video that I wish it was the 90s again, when I had a cell phone, but it was mainly for calls. I think 90, I was talking about that. I think it was about 90, the end of the 90s when I got my first cell phone, I think. I can't quite remember. But yeah, it's just because, and then one example is that on the volunteer work that I do, they put me in a WhatsApp group chat, and I hate those group chats because it puts you a pressure that it puts like you in a corner, like, theoretically. Some people don't care, and I am trying to be reasonable with myself on that one as well. But then if someone sends a message there, affects you somehow, or as much you are part of it because you are working there, it's expected of you to say something or at least to react. And some days that gets a little bit too much, the amount of emails you get, and oh man, yeah. Even though, as I said, I'm having fun with technology, and oh, I forgot to put my, oh, I can't put here. I'll put on the editing outro. Even I'm having fun, I never deny the fact that sometimes I just want to go to the bush. Literally, I just want. But then again, bringing what I watched, there was Game of Thrones to try to unplug, to try to, I ended up obviously analyzing everything because, since I have started this journey of exploring my mind because I have dropped alcohol and, things have changed in the world and so have I. Uh, I started, I had watched that previously once, the whole season, but I couldn't, like, you remember bits and pieces and whatnot. So one thing I took from this time I watched, where I was staying away from the phone, and how hard it is staying away from the phone. It's unbelievable, man. Like, you really want to get that, you want to, even though it's not going to be anything, useful for you there. Yeah, but anyway. Okay, so what I took from that, it was some sayings. And one thing that particularly caught my attention, it was the end when Bran Stark, the Raven, the three-eyed Raven, uh, he says to Theon Greyjoy a couple of times. He says that you are where you needed to be, and everything. Once it was everything that you did brought you to where you are right at here. Everything you did brought you to where you are right now, which I know it can be very cliche or cheeky for some, but it's very deep if you look at it, because that's one thing I have been thinking of, that everything you did gave you the lessons you needed to make you become who you are now. It kind of easy to understand that one, eh? It's not like, yeah, but still. And so what I did is, I put together some sayings that while I was watching really got me. Apart from the human behavior, politics, if you may call that nowadays, I think, but the manipulation and how power works, kind of thing. You kind of see how things really are. That some of them are really very close to what we have nowadays. Some of others are a bit messed up, don't exist anymore. But even back in those days, what it used to be to one, that's why I think that these kind of systems have been created among societies, because it becomes a chaos if you don't have a ruler or if you don't have rules. It's hard, I think, to even the primitives, like the tribes, they had, like a leader, a chief. So, well, yeah. So what I did on that, it was that gave me purpose for a week or so, because I wanted to. I even got here where it is. I think still here. Still here. I even got. I had some seasons, but I had to buy. I had to buy season 4. I had 1 through 3 and 5 for some reason I deleted the other ones, but now I downloaded again. Season 4, 6, 7, 8. But I got the Prime student, so yeah, you get a bit of a cut on that. So let me take this out of here. So the sayings I got out of it, it was one thing that I didn't write who said, but it was everything is possible, everybody is your friend and your enemy. Imagine, I think it was Littlefinger. Everything is possible, everybody's your friend and your enemy. Imagine every single possibility, and when it happens, it won't be the first time you were seeing it. I think it was Littlefinger said that to Sansa. And yeah, that made me think a lot because it's very powerful. And yeah, I think it goes a little bit to the mentalization kind of thing. You have to see things, and even by here in the case, but yeah, things can always turn out. Oh, you escape again, man. I'm trying to get. I got you. I don't know why I mentioned this already here. I'm sorry. But yeah, these bloody mosquitoes, though. Okay, in London, things have really changed. So yeah, so that was one of the sentences that I got here that I am working on. The other one, it was said by Littlefinger as well. Chaos isn't a pet. Chaos is a ladder. So it's a reminder that challenges and instability can be opportunities to rise if you have the wit and courage. So, that's pretty also intense. Chaos isn't a pet, chaos is a ladder. So, yeah, it's very encouraging because, it makes you think that, whenever you are living what most of us is living at the moment, I believe, is that, yeah, somehow we need to make, how is it, make cream out of the milk to be able to get out of the pan. Is that in English as well? The little mouse that like whipped the milk to make a cream so he could get out of it. But yeah, again, as a Brazilian born, I pretty much understand all that. All right, another one. Tyrion Lannister. I think it was Tyrion Lannister. I don't even remember. It wasn't Tyrion. Tyrion was his father, wasn't it? Yeah, I struggle with the Lannister's name. But then the little one said, "A mind needs books as a sword needs uh, whetstone. If it's to keep its edge." So a mind needs books as a sword needs whetstone. If it's to keep its edge, I mean, yeah, you need to be obviously uh, sharpening up your brain. That's what I mentioned on the other video. I said something about that. I said something about I even said to my student, I said it's harder to work with your arms with a shovel than your brain, but it's easier the path to go to a job or to it's metaphor. It's the journey to work with shovel is easier than the journey to work with a pen or with your mind in terms, because to work with your mind and with a pen, as they say, you need to work your brain a lot. And it's not as easy as work your arms, to think, to read, to, yeah, to think and read and absorb information and process information. It is harder than dig a hole, so, but yeah, so I agree with that. That was easy, but, I just like the sentence, and he has quite a few of them. The next one is Cersei. Why did I put this? When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or die. There is no middle ground. This enforces the importance of commitment and decisiveness in high stakes situations. Yeah, I guess it's a bit, I don't know, scary talking, because, yeah, when you talk about life and death, even though nowadays I'm getting even less afraid of death and more curious about it, to be honest. But I believe you would say that, yeah, it's either you do or you don't. It's that stuff of being halfway through. And if I mirror to my life, yeah, there were quite a few things I started, I went to halfway, and then I gave up. So I didn't go 100%. Some others I did, and yeah, I succeed on those, but that's not who I am anymore. So the next one is for Tyrion Lannister again. Never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not. Wear it like an armor, and it can never be used to hurt you. All right, so yeah, I believe that on that you would say that you have to be true all the time, If you don't lie, if you don't create your personality or your stories over lies, I think you would never have to fear anything, because, and that's also something that is pretty interesting, because we are kind we were raised in a world where lies are part of it, and every day we discover even more. So, yeah, that's one to make you think a little bit, I would say. The man who passes the sentence should swing the sword. That was Ned Stark. It's a principle of leadership and accountability. If you make a decision, you must take responsibility for it. Yeah, again, pretty close to the one before. I think, if you say something, you should, you know, just the hard thing is that sometimes you, as is a sentence already, I don't know from who, but I'm responsible for what I said, not for what people understand, because there are always twists on stories when people are passing, one to the other. So it's very important to keep clear on the accuracy of the information. I think that that's it. Yeah, the information after processed, it becomes data, and so gotta watch on that. Yeah. So what do we say to the god of death? Ah, that's a nice one. Zero Forel. That was the swordman. Not today. So it's a mantra of resilience and defiance in the face of adversity and danger. So again, that's one of those motivational sentences that are there to higher your resilience and give you strength to continue moving on. I was born by that, like again, as I moved out of my house when I was 15, and yeah, back in the day was a bit different, because I smoked my first joint when I was 13. That was pretty young guy. Well, Okay, so then after we have the ones that I started with from Brain Stark, everything you did brought you here, brought you where you are right now. And the other one that I was that I had in mind, oh yeah, that one that I think it was Tywin Lannister. I think it was the father. He says, "Any man that must say I'm the king is no true king." You know, so it's that kind of stuff that everybody that needs to be exposing and showing off and proving what he is in the end of the day. And we see that in some examples are some millionaire that they don't wear brand clothing and they are very simple wish. You know, they don't buy or they don't acquire a lot of uh, stuff or a lot of houses and they just live. I mean, they have their big houses and whatnot, but they don't. They're not like very very attached to material. Let's say. Okay, death is so fatal, yet life is full of possibilities. So I believe that what's that? A reminder to embrace life's opportunities and uncertainties, even in the face of invi- inevitable mortality. Inevitable, sorry. So yeah, a reminder to embrace life's opportunities and uncertainties, even in the face of inevitable mortality. Yeah, like I think that that might be the idea of live the most, make the most of every day, because that's the only certainty we have is that you know we're gonna die. This is gonna end at one point. Oh, that's the noise coming, and I don't know where is it coming from. Very weird though. Maybe from there. So yeah, try to make the most of it. I think that that might be it. That was from Tyrion Lannister as well. And then what about afterwards? Oh, that's Jaime Lannister. What about afterwards? How do you know there is an afterwards? Ah, when he was talking to Bran Stark, when they were, yeah, in a moment that death was a big possible outcome, and yeah, in the case Brand was a raven, so he could see the future, but we don't know the future, right? We don't know if we're gonna wake up tomorrow. We consider things. We suppose we will have a tomorrow, almost with some kind of certainty. I would say because we make plans for. Some people make plans even for 10 years ahead. I mean, we are raised in this scenario that you have to plan your life, even though you don't know if that will be any longer than you planned. But yeah, so yeah, that was what I took out of. Again, I always try to make the most of it. Again, I said I will have another video on this series, but I am doing some research and kind of getting my ideas right because then it's more talking about this manipulation and people's behavior mainly. So I did some notes over that as well. That I am doing some research and seeing what I'm thinking. I don't want to look like I don't want to look crazier than I already may look. But yeah, the other one is gonna be on that. So it took me just about a week. I must say that I did a marathon. I watched one after the other, and I slept very little. I was sleeping 4 hours just to go off. Especially now in the end, I wanted to get to the end, and I love this kind of medieval stuff. I always did. It reminds me one of the movies that I love from back in the day is The Highlander. There may only be one, I think it is the sentence. Yeah, there must only be one, and then they chop their head off. That's another film that I'm gonna watch again, and I'm gonna bring some talk about here as well. Now we are, 700 plus. Did you get any more while I was on here? 701. Let me see if it just has to. Yeah, 701. There you go. And on my teaching channel, I have 2,740, and I haven't even reached 100 hours watch. I don't know what it is though. Like I've done several formats of classes and long classes, short classes. That channel should be monetizing already, with the amount of people in. But well, it is what it is, eh? Let it be, let it be. Right, so let me know what you think about Game of Thrones. Let me know what you think about these sayings, or do you remember any sayings that when you watched you kept on your mind? Have you ever watched Game of Thrones trying to see that kind of side, like analyzing things? And I must say that I can literally see that my emotional my emotional instability, I would say, because I cried a lot. I don't know I don't know. Does anybody else cry when you see Game of Thrones? But yeah, I even wrote here on my notes as well. Where is it? Oh, who cries watching Game of Thrones? Especially the brotherhood and friendship scenes. That yeah got me a lot. I did quite a bit of crying on that. And voila, there we go. Other just to to sum up, to wrap up, I was thinking of imagine when someone looks us from outside, like the creator, if I may, going a little bit on the imagination side, and the guys like, the earth is there, and then we are developing and whatnot, and then he was like, oh yeah, let's give these guys some big animals, and then the big animals start to be controlled by humans, and then they fly these big animals, and then they spit fire and destroy everybody. So the creator goes like, oh no no, it's better take out the big animals. Let's give them a little bit more of intelligence, so maybe they can live more in harmony, and they will learn how to have their crops, and so yeah, they can live peacefully and exchange stuff, and then the human use that to create stuff that can kill each other again. And then yeah, and it has been seen, everything that happens, the humans use to harm each other somehow. So it's pretty hard to understand. Right, let me know what you think, Game of Thrones. Let me know if you like, if you do not like, if you agree with me, if you think I am crazy. I also would like to hear that, just to know. Not that I would care that much. But after, being married 3 times, I can tell you, I mean, the third one, it wasn't on the paper, but was it was the most expensive one, actually. So I have heard anything, and nothing can really offend me. I just get pissed off sometimes with some dudes, but That's because I got blood in my veins. All right. See you around. 700. Thanks for joining. Let me know what you think. Let me know your channel. I'll follow you as well. And voila. See you soon.